another big week in the AFL Riverina competition this week. Joining us at the desk to go through the OAMPS, Farrer and Riverina football leagues, we've got AFL Riverina Operations Manager Shane Buchanan and Chris Jackson. Thanks for joining us both, boys.
No worries, no worries.
We'll start off with the RFL. The match of the round, you'd have to say, would be the Wagga Tigers. They're up against Turvey Park. The Tigers coming off the back of a first round loss, bouncing back with a good win last week. How do you see it going, Shane?
Yeah, Tigers, they had a really good win against Griffith. Probably would have been disappointed probably the week before against Coolamon Gully, but they'll go into this game favourites, I think. Griffith's form's probably been a little bit up and down, probably a bit disappointing, Griffith. Obviously, Mickey Duncan's out with a quad muscle at the moment, which will be an impact on their structures and whatever else. But look, this particular game, I'm going to go with Wagga Tigers to get over the top of them. I think they're experienced players in Marrar, Johnny Enstein, Matty Noonan, etc. will lead from the front and should get over the Turvey Park, who are improving, there's no doubt about that, and probably a good gauge where they're at probably in the season, I reckon, Turvey. And Turvey need to win it, I think, if they want to stay in touch with the top five, but I think Tigers may have a bit more experience than Turvey Park at this stage.
Thinking the same, Jacko?
Yeah, I am actually, yeah. They've both recruited well. Obviously, Turvey Park have recruited a lot more than what Tigers have, but Tigers got some really good juniors coming through, so it's going to be actually quite a good game, but see what the Tigers come on top of that one.
Now, Coolamon Gully up against Narrandera. The Demons had a convincing win over Coolamon. Narrandera were crushed by Main. What do you think with this one, Shane?
Coolamon Gully have made the competition really interesting. I think all the experts are saying, Coolamon's going to win it by AFR, but they've obviously had a day out there for Clarkey, their former president, who passed away last year, and obviously the club rose to the occasion, and it was fantastic for the club, but also for the competition. So, look, yeah, Coolamon Gully will go into this game as warm favourites, there's no doubt about that. Narrandera rebuilding, they've got some good youngsters out there, and it's just another opportunity for them to get another game under their belt, so I'm going with Gully in that one.
Thinking much the same, Chris?
Yeah, same with Gully. Their juniors are coming along nicely. Shane's got them firing, so yeah, and obviously their big forward, Aho. Is that how you pronounce it?
Aho.
Yeah, he's on fire, so I've heard good reports about him, so that'll be very tough.
Now, we mentioned before the Tigers beat Griffith. They travel to Coolamon this week. That's going to be a very tough trip.
Yeah, Coolamon will be smarting after last week, no doubt. They would have been reviewing what happened last week, so it might be a long day for Griffith. I'll go with the Grasshoppers in that one.
Hard to tip against the Hoppers.
You can't tip against the Hoppers out there.
And we've got Main. They're going to look to continue that form that they had against the Eagles. They're playing Leeton. Yeah,
Jaden Kotzer and Mitch Steele have been shining lights up forward for Main, and perhaps they've been their Achilles heel, so I think they'll keep that going against a very young, inexperienced Leeton Witten Crows.
Tipping any upsets?
No upsets this round. Definitely Main.
Now, in the Farrer League, East Wagga up against the Northern Jets. East Wagga probably a little bit disappointing to start off the year.
Yeah, well, with Chris by my side, look, East Wagga's recruited extensively out of the off-season, that's the way I look at it. Obviously had a win first round, got some injury concerns at the moment, but it's going to take them some time to gel, sort of thing. I think this is going to be a really good game in that East Wagga obviously need a win, and so will the Jets. They're probably both in the same situation. They've got to get a win at this time of year just to make sure that they're keeping in contact with the top five, because it's a very even competition at the moment. So, look, the big thing for East Wagga will be probably the availability of Mark Ebbett and Ben Absalom coming back into the team. Now, I don't know where both are up to. I'd say Ben Absalom will be probably nearly right to come in. Mark may be a question mark. Chris might extend on that a little bit further, but at the moment, this is a really critical game. And I think this game's going to be like a finals atmosphere because both clubs can't afford to lose it. So, but I'm going to go with the Hawks at home.
Definitely Gep up front. I think it was 10 goals in the first round. Certainly missing them for the other two.
He kicked 10 injured actually. He was actually injured that day, so he kicked 10. But obviously he straightens us up. And having him down forward is obviously a good target. He's kicked 100 goals for the last 7 years, so having someone down there is dangerous. But obviously we've got 4 or 5 more coming back in, but that doesn't change the fact that we've got 11 or 12 new players in the side. We've got to learn how to play together. But all the good signs are there. We got dusted up on the weekend, but that just goes to show that the competition's very good. So yeah.
See how it goes.
And just with that game, Simon, they're actually playing for the Greg Smith Shield in that particular game. So the old boys out at East Wagga there have organised that. So for those who don't know, Greg Smith he played at South Melbourne probably during the 80s and then transferred over to Collingwood. So he originally started his career out at Art Lethen. So the Jets being obviously Art Lethen associated, and East Wagga, great initiative there, and they've been playing there for a couple of years. So that's should be a great event.
It's going to be a great afternoon. Now the Bombers and North Wagga both coming off wins. It's going to be a cracking match.
Oh, definitely. We played against Marrar last week, and they haven't got any superstars, but they play well as a team. And obviously North Wagga just a lot of young blokes that just run hard, and it's going to be quite interesting actually to see how they move and transition the ball against each other. So I don't know. I'm up in the air. I think Marrar might, just with their a lot of their senior players will step up.
Just getting over the line. What do you reckon, Shane?
Yeah, I'm with Chris. Playing at home, I think it gives you an advantage, and I'll go with the Bombers in that one.
Now we've also got the Roos. This is probably the game of the round. They were outstanding last week in the grand final rematch. Looking very hard to beat once again this year. Can Collie do it?
I don't think they can, but I think they'll give them a fair test. There's no doubt about that. I think this will be a game where Collie will find out whether they're actually up against the best team in the competition. So Mitch Carroll will go into this game. He'll have them primed and whatever else. They need to pressure, I think, if they're going to win the game. I mean, they can't give Temora opportunity to use the ball or they'll cut them to shreds. So they'll have to go in with a game plan that keep the ball tight, tackle, pressure, chase, do all the hard things, the 1%ers, and try and get on top. But I just think Temora at the moment, look, a few injury concerns there at Temora as well. Matt Wallace, I think, has gone down with an injury, but then Matt Harpley, the young fellow, showed so much promise, kicked 7 goals last week. So that's a real positive for the club. And now they'd be expecting him to do that week in and week out. He set the bar now, and he's a kid with a lot of potential. He's a big boy, so he's going to start taking that to the next level, and I think the Kangaroos will get over the Blues.
Mark Kruger's obviously doing some great things out there again this year.
Oh, definitely, yeah. He's got them playing quite well as a team, as a unit. So, but as I said, it's interesting. I played against Coolamon 2 weeks ago, and they're a big-bodied side. They're huge. They're big farming boys. So they win out of the middle. It's going to be hard. They've got Dean Pound firing. He was awesome. He was very good the other week. So tomorrow at home, definitely yes. But Coolamon aren't a walkover side now. They're very strong.
Wrapping it up, the Rock, they'll be keen to bounce back from that grand final rematch loss when they come up against CSU.
Yeah, I can't remember the Rock being in a position when they haven't won a game in the first 3 or 4 rounds, and they're in a position that they've never been before the Rock. So look, obviously a year probably rebuilding, I suppose, at this stage, unless they can turn things around quickly and get some major scalps. But they'll get their first win on the weekend. There's no doubt about that. Probably it's going to be the margin, I'd say.
It's still early in the season. No need for the Rock to panic, really, you'd reckon?
Not at all. No, it's so close in the middle. Like you're from 2nd to 5th. You're so close. So there's no need to panic at all. So they've just got to get a win up, get their confidence, and go from there. So it's interesting. CSU are obviously struggling with numbers at the moment with depth, but they're going to put out there, and they're not witches' hats, so they're going to go out there and fight for the ball. So obviously the Rock going to be too strong for them, but it's going to be a contest either way.
Well, some absolutely excellent matchups across both competitions, boys. Enjoy it, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.